My name's Brad Dush, and I currently live in Fairfax, Missouri. That is in the northwest corner of the state of Missouri, nestled right up next to Nebraska and Iowa. And I am the pastor at the Fairfax Methodist Church. My motivation for seeking election as a General Conference delegate came in part from having the opportunity to have been in Costa Rica for our convening General Conference as an alternate delegate. It was a powerful experience, holy conferencing like I've never experienced before. And although this appears to be a little further away and a bigger trip, I spent some time in prayer and fasting and really feel led of God to see where the Lord leads and if it might lead to me going to General Conference. Some of the things that I've done that kind of give me some unique perspectives and experiences. I've been a pastor since 1999 in various sizes of church, from very small to maybe larger of the small churches. I have pastored in communities around Southeast Missouri and Northwest Missouri of varying sizes. And so I really feel like I have an idea where a majority, I think, of our churches in the Heartland Conference are, as far as the size of communities that they're located in, even those that are located outside of a community, as well as I think I can faithfully represent the small membership church. Again, I think is a majority of our churches in the conference. And so I really feel those experiences in rural ministry and small churches, along with having served churches now for a little more than a quarter of a century, kind of equip me to really have a heart and a voice for the majority of who we are as the Heartland Conference. As I think about how I would represent, as I've kind of already alluded to, I think I have a good knowledge and working base of who we are in the Heartland, because of my experiences both in location and church size. But the other thing that I recognize is that we are a global church. And one of the things that need to happen is we have to go there. And what I mean by that is we can't expect everybody to come to the United States because we are a global church. And I appreciate the fact that our first General Conference was not on U.S. soil. I appreciate the fact that our next conference is not planned to be on United States soil. And at the same time, not only do we here in the United States need to be willing to go there, we also need to be creative, I think, in how we can find ways to bring folks from outside of our country to the United States to help and to minister. I think sometimes we see places outside of the United States as the mission field, where I think the United States itself can be a great mission field as we welcome pastors and laity from outside of the U.S. To be in partnership and ministry with us. It's going to take all of us working together and doing our best to try to understand each other, because what we have before us is the task of making disciples and spreading scriptural holiness around the globe. And so we have to be globally minded in all that we do. And I think also maybe a call to how can we replicate ministry, not just across the street, but on the other side of the globe. So I think we did some wonderful work in Costa Rica. And as I've said, it was exciting to be there and to be a part of it. I think as we look ahead to the next General Conference, we have some things that we need to do to shore up the episcopacy and elect Episcopal leaders going into the future, as we'll look at the next General Conference being planned for 6 years down the road. I think another thing that we need to make sure that we're doing is really taking a good look at doctrine. There has been a proposed catechism for the Global Methodist Church that has been floating around out there that's available through Seedbed. I have went through it with the confirmation class now a couple of times, and I think it's solid stuff. And I mean, it could use some fine tuning in places, but I think it's going to be extremely important that doctrine is in front of us at General Conference, and I think we would be ahead to adopt a catechism, and I think we've got a great one to look at. I think the other thing we need to do is I've already talked about kind of our global nature and how we might be able to to partner with folks across the globe. We need to see how we might do that in an official way and set some goals for that particular venture and what it might look like, and let them be goals that have us coming back in 6 years, going, have we done these things? Have we worked across cultures and across areas and regions to better the church? And then I think a last final part is how we will go around kind of the educational piece of what we do for the purposes of ordination, maybe fully defining or better defining the roles of both a deacon and an elder, and how we look at training those individuals, how we provide continuing education for those roles, and what it looks like to have that model working, again, not just by the way we understand it from a United States perspective, but in our partnering conferences across the globe. What can we do? How can we fine tune that process so that as we move to ordinations for deacons and elders, we have the best process out there that works across the different regions and countries and conferences that we have.